Despite the looming April 2018 date, there is still no solution to the social grant contract deadlock. Yesterday's joint meeting between the Standing Committee on Public Accounts and the Portfolio Committee on Social Development could not resolve the matter, with Minister Bathabile Dlamini asking the National Treasury to allow for more time to deal with outstanding matters. Joining us now from our parliamentary studios is Themba Godi, and hopefully he can assist us with some of the issues that came out of yesterday. Themba, thank you very, very much, and welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much.
Themba, talk to us about what happened yesterday. Obviously, we know the two parties were asked to come up with a solution. The solution wasn't found, but what was discussed yesterday?
Look, I think what needs to be recognized is the fact that our engagement with the parties concerned has actually led to some movement. The first achievement was on Tuesday, when there was agreement that the officials should meet, even if it means working overnight, so that by yesterday they could come back and tell us what the way forward is. To their credit, the officials met 2 times on Tuesday and 2 times yesterday before the meeting with SCOPA and the Portfolio Committee. And arising out of their engagements, there was an agreement that the National Treasury should review the procurement processes and suggest a way forward. We agreed that that review by National Treasury should be completed by Monday, and that on Tuesday, the Interministerial Committee chaired by the President must be briefed and a decision must be taken. And both parties have agreed that the directives from the Interministerial Committee is going to be final and binding. And then on Wednesday, they should come and brief Parliament on what that agreement is.
All right. So, you know, there's talk now, obviously, of Treasury getting involved. What would their role be? Would they be overseeing the entire process?
Well, the role of Treasury is to review the process because there was an impasse. There was a dispute of facts. SASSA saying, no, Post Office, you can't do this. Post Office saying, no, we think we can do this. It was important, and it's a mechanism that is provided for in the Intergovernmental Relations Framework Act, that in case of a dispute, you need to have a deadlock breaking mechanism. And that is what Treasury is going to provide. Remember, even the 4 meetings that took place, all of them took place under the guidance or chairpersonship of National Treasury. So National Treasury comes in as a neutral party, as a party that has not been involved in these processes before, to provide an objective review and suggestion on what needs to be done so that we can move forward.
So, you know, there's obviously 2 sides to all of the story, and Minister Dlamini comes out saying that she's concerned that the Post Office hasn't got the capacity to handle this, and even suggested that perhaps let them start with 100,000 people at first. Let's see if they can handle it, and then we'll move forward from there. Is that an unreasonable request?
Well, look, Leanne, that statement for me was made in the context of, you know, the debates and the discussions. But what stands out for me and what is important, and which is what I want South Africans to take, is the fact that we've agreed on a process to resolve these differences. And I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that this process should yield results, because as I'm talking to you now, we are only left with 99 working days to the 1st of April.
Yeah.
And within these days, we need to make sure that we do everything properly so that not even a single person should be disadvantaged come the 1st of April next year.
I mean, there is a big job that needs to be done in these 199 days that you're talking about. But Mark Barnes, the CEO of SAPO, seems positive. He says it's doable. They can do it. This 4-point system that we are referring to that has to happen, an integrated IT payment system, providing banking services, having card production facilities, and provision of cash payment services. He is confident they can do it, and he wants to do it all. What do you think? Do you think that the Post Office can handle this?
Well, look, I don't want to get into that realm of speculation. Clearly, the Post Office is distressed financial situation. It needs this contract to pull itself out of the hole that it is in. And obviously its leadership will say all the things that it needs to say to get it. But the taste of the pudding is always in the eating. That is why in this process there is also agreement that the technical teams from National Treasury and the Reserve Bank should come in, interact with the technical teams from SASSA and SAPO to actually look at the technical capacity of SAPO as well as the technical needs from SASSA, and to be able to assist in making an objective determination on what can be done and what cannot be done.
Yeah.
And I believe that that is the one objective process that will assist all of us, separate wishes from reality, separate subjectivism from objectivism, so that we can, in the final analysis, serve our people who are dependent on these social grants. And I said yesterday, all of us who are sitting there have cushy jobs, well-paying jobs, and the grants that people are getting that they should live with for a month. Some of us squash that in one restaurant outing, and we play ping pong on their lives, on their anxiety, their frustrations, their fears. It is that which must actually drive us, and not so much the egos amongst officials and entities.
Yeah. Themba, just a final closing remark here. You must have been, and I know you were, you expressed your disappointment that the two main parties, we're talking SASSA and SAPO, never came together. In all this time that there's supposedly meant to be negotiations happening and tenders to try and get this going, to help the people that you're speaking about, and yet that never ever happened. I mean, in this short time that they have now, do you really think that this deadline is going to be met?
Yeah, I think, look, Leon, fact is it was clear that there was an impasse, and the two parties, were digging in their heels. What we have managed to do was to unlock that, to begin a process of engagement, and for everyone to understand that getting into an engagement process, you are not going to stick to your position. Allow yourself to be influenced and also influence other people. We hope that the momentum created, firstly, by the expectation from Parliament and the expectation of our people as they are watching this program, will come to bear on the parties to realize that they can't come back next week and say, we don't agree.
Let's leave it there. Thank you. Thank you very much for updating us on the situation. Themba Godi, Scopa Chair on yesterday's Parliament joint meeting between Social Development Portfolio Committee and Scopa to try and resolve that deadlock between the department and the Post Office on how social grants are going to be paid. We're taking a break. See you with the news at 8 after this.